If high-stakes poker was a basketball game, Warriors versus Grizzlies was the all-in hand. With their seasons on the line, Golden State and Memphis bet everything. Both teams refused to fold, but in this zero-sum game, only one team could cash in to punch their ticket to the playoffs in a heart-pounding thriller. The following is a full tactical breakdown of what we learned from both these teams heading into the postseason. All right, GOATs, today we've got an awesome sponsor, Prize Picks, the ultimate destination for daily fantasy sports. If you think you know ball and want to turn your pocket change into serious cash, then Prize Picks has you covered. Here's how it works. You pick 2 to 6 players, decide if they are going to have more or less on their projected stats, and boom, you're basically a sports stockbroker without the boring spreadsheets. And it's not just basketball. You can bet on baseball, MMA, golf. Heck, if they had competitive thumb wrestling, I'm sure they'd have that too. Sign up today at prizepicks.com or use code GOATED when you deposit $10. Play your first $5 and Prize Picks will hand you $50 instantly. Whether you win or lose, let's get paid. After a brutal loss to the Harden and Kawhi Clippers, the 7th-seeded Warriors clashed with the 8th-seeded Grizzlies. With the NBA playoffs on the line, Moody got first crack at guarding Ja and was already causing problems right off the bat. But with Ja rejecting the screen, Morant used Moses' momentum against him for the step back.
All about matchups. So the size of Moody, can that distract Ja Morant, who's had big games in this building? But one matchup in particular I'm looking for.
Memphis's new head coach then ran a sideline out-of-bounds entry into Edey, and with the Dubs switching off the staggered DHO, Triple J was left wide open.
Here's a 3 by JJJ here, 5-0 run to start this ball game.
From the looks of it, the whistle was going to be unbearable for Steph.
Curry with the 3, leaning, firing, missing. It'll be Memphis's ball.
Memphis's plan was to send a double to help Ja on every disadvantageous cross match, but Moody couldn't punish the long Edey rotation off the skip pass to the corner.
A 3 by Moody.
However, with a 2-on-1 advantage in transition, Moses got the Dubs on the scoreboard.
Hey, Pajemski and inside to Moody.
When Scottie Pippen Jr. saw Dre down, he exploited Steph at the point of attack. With Moody collapsing, Ja was left all alone with the finger on the trigger. Sorry, Adam.
And kick to Morant, a 3. He's hit 2 in a row from outside.
And with pods down, Jaren Jackson Jr. didn't think twice.
Edey, down goes Pajemski, 5 on 4. The trailing Jackson with another 3 and another hit from distance.
When the Grizzlies put the 7'4" Canadian on Butler, the level of disrespect was over 3,000.
The Butler trade, a 3.
Doesn't take very many of them, but if you're going to leave him that wide open and give him a dare shot, he can burn you.
They also had Scottie Pippen Jr. face guarding Steph, which meant that the back door was open to the chef.
And that's a matchup you're going to watch closely.
Oh, what a pass.
What a cut! What a basket! Green's a Curry.
Ja's first step is filthy, ridiculous, and just plain unfair.
Scored 20 points or more, 17 consecutive games. What a handle and what a move by Ja Morant. 7 points quickly for him.
In early offense, Steph's gravity was bending the entire geometry of the court, resulting in colossal gaps on the weak side.
He'll think, he'll fire, he'll hit.
Memphis's size on the offensive glass was giving the Grizzlies second chance points off of reckless closeouts from the Dubs.
Aldama with another 3. Hit as he fired. Down he goes. Holding onto that ankle. They'll bring him up. Green the foul.
With Edey guarding GP2, Coach Kerr targeted the lumbering big with small-on-small ball screens.
Payton will slash inside.
Quick 5 off the bench here for Payton Jr.
Despite not converting, this touch pass play from Memphis was incredible.
On greens, they're not going to let Curry or Butler try to beat them.
Bain.
Oh, what a pass.
Morant to Edey, who could not hammer it home.
And of course, nothing goes unpunished in the NBA, as the Dubs hit the trailing post for a 5-point swing.
The trailing post, it's a 3.
Post led all rookie scores from that 3-point line.
The Steph top-locking coverage continued, but Dre's DHO screening was opening runways for the baby-faced assassin to take off.
Curry will drive in a floater.
You're top-locking him most of the time, and he's underrated his float game.
A 16-5 run for Golden State, whose defense had now intensified. Off the jump ball, Steph quickscope sniped healed, and Memphis had to call a timeout.
It's won by Curry. Ahead to Hield. What a pass and what a finish. Timeout, Memphis.
But the full court pressure the Dubs had was still discombobulating the Grizzlies even after the break. The rule for wings in transition is to run wide and deep. GP2 knew the assignment and was paid handsomely for playing textbook basketball.
There is something called a playoff Butler, isn't there, huh? What a pass inside! Butler!
The Warriors have this other gear they can enter defensively, and it's very scary. And when they are hitting threes to boot, they feel like an unstoppable avalanche.
Post three.
Add playoff Jimmy to the equation, and it's like, bro, what am I watching?
Butler got it! Oh! An acrobatic play!
After Memphis had gone 6 minutes without a field goal, Bane and Luke finally stopped the bleeding.
Great three-point shooter with the fake. He'll put one up, good if it goes, and it does. A three by Luke Kennard.
31-25, after a 7-0 Grizzlies run to end the first. The second quarter started with Jimmy spearheading the Dubs' point of attack defense and forcing turnovers. And Post was thriving as a trailer and splashing from downtown rather than settling for threes. Butler now started attacking Edey on closeouts.
Side Butler, into Edey, around Williams.
Why not? And he didn't settle for a three.
And in isolation.
Here's won the regular season series with Memphis, 3-1. Butler drives on Edey.
It's too easy. If Edey's going to be out there on the floor trying to guard Jimmy Butler.
And this allowed Kerr to manage Curry's minutes smartly. The Dubs' defense was tight, their rotations completely in sync, and they were doing a masterful job of shrinking, driving lanes, and forcing the Grizzlies into turnovers. But as sharp as Golden State's scheme was, Desmond Bane kept Memphis afloat.
The ball picked up by Williams, out to Bane.
Huge. Huge.
So Kerr adjusted and started blitzing Bane on the pick and roll to force the ball out of his hands early. The whoever offense on Edey continued.
Pajemski a three.
Boy, it is raining threes here.
But with Dre catching a breather, the Grizzlies finally started carving up the paint with dribble penetration.
Grant is in, weaving, driving, stutter stepping and getting it to go.
Still, Butler anchored the Warriors, finding a sneaky Santos under the rim for the and one.
Into Santos, he's doubled, but he pulls the trigger and puts it in.
Butler now up to 4 assists.
And this is why you don't give any space to the chef.
Switch. Santos has been Curry from way outside. Got it! Hits it from Alcatraz.
And if you thought his off-ball movement was slowing down at 37, textbook relocation from the best shooter God has ever created.
Looney to Curry, Curry the corner. That is an incredible shot. Just an incredible shot.
And he was leading the charge, turning defense into offense.
He's down, now getting up. Curry, here comes Moody.
Edey, to his credit, was holding his own too, using his size well on both sides of the floor.
The screen, inside to Looney, the bump. Trying to twist. 3-second.
Ja's drive and kick game started generating good shots for Memphis.
Aldama, three, good.
And after the break, we got to hear from the new Finnish head coach.
We got to get organized in transition, okay? Every time we drive, okay, something happens, they are sprinting right away back, okay? Communication, make sure we protect the rim, and we take out the hot threes.
Pippen Jr. was still glued to Steph, face guarding like it was a one-on-one drill.
This is going to be a foul on Pippen Jr. reaching in against Curry.
9-0 run for the Grizzlies.
The Dubs' mistakes led to Ja getting loose.
Comes Morant the other way, and he got it from Pippen.
And once he was loose, he started spamming that hostage dribble before going full Tracy McGrady on them.
Great ones in this area. Here's Morant.
Oh, he did that on purpose.
And he got it to go. How in the world did he pull that off?
On the other side of the court, Jimmy just kept making solid reads off of Draymond.
The cutting Butler.
And once again, his relentless rim pressure kept earning him trip after trip to the stripe. Then came the Butler post-ups as playmaking hubs. Even with Draymond missing the layup, he was there on cleanup duty.
Nice cut. Green couldn't finish, but Butler does. Butler did it.
With the Grizzlies in panicked rotation, the Dubs kept cashing in.
The free throw shooting. Curry, Butler was in stride in the corner. Moody. Green, a fake pass. Out to Moody. It's a three.
Despite leading by 20 at one point, the Warriors entered halftime with a 12-point cushion, 67-55. At the beginning of the third, Coach Kerr sent a hard double to Edey in the post, and the Rook couldn't handle the pressure.
Blitzing, the pass is high. It's a Memphis turnover.
And the Steph back screen on the Warriors' classic split action was giving the Grizzlies migraines.
State's 33-4. Inside, Butler puts it in.
On the ball screen, Jimmy was doubling off Edey and then recovering. And off the strong side zone, he was the double to negate the baseline drive as well. But with Curry responsible for tagging and manning the interior, the size discrepancy was untenable. The hard doubles to Edey in the post kept coming. But with the clock expiring, Bane threw up a prayer and the basketball gods answered.
Today, and his mind is his biggest asset.
Bane three, cut it. What a shot.
Another Edey turnover off the double led to easy points for the Warriors in transition.
12 turnovers. Moody, the cutting Butler.
But Memphis kept going to him and force-feeding him again and again. To counter the size, Jimmy went right at the Canadian, forcing the fourth foul for the big, which meant that he had to sit. But Memphis refused to say die.
Pippen. Into Green, a bump. He kept his composure and puts it down. Pretty play by Scottie Pippen Jr.
That was the fourth foul for Dre as well. Ja's hang dribble off the Triple J ball screen drew 2 to the ball, opening up the easy lob. And with the momentum tilting, everything was now clicking for the Grizzlies.
Looney is in, scoops it up in time with a dive and a scoop and score. Pretty play by Desmond Bane.
The Dubs could not buy a bucket to save their lives. While Memphis was living rent-free in the paint, that's when Jimmy went full Cookie Monster off the Triple J spin.
Bane, Butler stole the ball. He's got a trailer. Butler.
And Bane had to let him go with those 3 fouls.
Timeout, Memphis.
Pods was getting killed trying to contain Bane.
For the Warriors.
Bane with a runner, another one, and he has done that so well.
With Coach Lasalo gambling to bring Edey back into the game with 4 fouls, GP2 got practice dare shots from distance. Coach Kerr saw the gamble and decided to raise, bringing Dre back into the game despite his own foul trouble. Unfortunately, Ja suffered an ankle injury along the left side baseline.
Morant will fire.
Oh, and he came down on someone's ankle.
He did. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness is right. It looked like he came down on someone's ankle. Oh, this is the worst thing right now during this Grizzlies run.
He is gingerly up on his feet right now.
A post-offensive rebound ended in even more disaster for the Grizzlies.
Out to Curry, three, good!
But despite everything going wrong, the Grizzlies managed to stay attached on the scoreboard.
The cutting Conchar!
With the medical staff working on Morant, the scrappy Grizzlies were just chopping wood and carrying water while waiting for their star to return.
Pops it out, Jackson retrieves, Bane a three, bullseye!
Jimmy had been living at the line in this quarter, but he finished off the third by finishing amongst the trees.
It's Butler with the drive. The lean into Bane. 34 for Jimmy Butler.
That Warriors' 12-point lead had now been cut to just 3. After clawing their way back in the third, Memphis opened the fourth hot, riding that momentum to tie the game.
He'll try to tie it. He does.
And took a shot to the back of the head. Got off the deck and knocked down a 3.
Meanwhile, the Warriors' defense was still stuck in the third gear, with Conchar slipping behind the ball-watching perimeter for an easy backdoor lay. So Kerr tightened the screws and they started aggressively doubling on defense.
Looney is on him, doubled by Santos, into Edey, doubled inside, and nest of defenders.
Lucky for them, Ja's night wasn't done.
With a little bit of a limp, and there he is.
But it was Curry's off-ball gravity that really started to bend the floor with Green finding post, cutting to the rim. And despite hobbling, Ja was still finding his spots.
Getting to tie, and he does with the beautiful mid-ranger.
Problem was, he couldn't move vertically, and Moody was making him pay. Still, Memphis had their moments with Triple J punishing the Warriors' miscommunication on defense.
Jackson got it!
But Jimmy kept doing damage where it hurt most, at the line.
Ben, a fake! cannot get it. Fouled from behind.
And he wasn't just attacking, he helped unlock Steph by setting a screen that flowed straight into a handoff from Dre.
Curry. And Golden State leads by 3 with 7:01 to go.
But Memphis answered with some dazzling ball movement of their own.
And fakes the 3, lasers one into Altama.
Still, Golden State had the ultimate weapon, the split action.
80% shooting for Memphis. 3, Curry.
And they kept dragging Edey into the fire with GP2 screening for Steph and unleashing himself on the roll. But Bane was there, still keeping the Grizzlies alive.
Build the play. Bane in the corner. 3, good.
The Dubs kept hunting Ja, but he kept fighting through and denying the switch. Even so, Jimmy was still Jimmy Buckets.
3, shot clock at 6. He'll put this over Payne. 38 points for Jimmy Butler.
Coach Kerr then ran an inverted pick and roll into a corner handoff by Green for a Steph bomb.
Pulled it out.
Butler with the move. Green. Curry. 3, good.
And despite all the defensive schemes, Wardell Stephen Curry II rose to the occasion and showed why he is still the best shooter on planet Earth.
Shot clock at 14. Green with the ball. It's Curry off a screen. Fakes. Fires. Stuck it. He just stuck it. Timeout.
But just when the Warriors had a chance to ice it clean, Jimmy made a mistake.
And with another chance to get in. Butler in traffic. Throw it away. He threw it away. Pippen the other way. Oh, Petrovsky, the block.
With the Dubs forcing a rare 5-second inbound violation, it was all said and done for the Grizzlies.
5 seconds.
5-second violation. They could not inbound.
The Warriors secured the 7th seed with a 121-116 win over the Grizzlies, and they will now face the 2-seeded Houston Rockets in a best-of-7 series starting this weekend.